How are you today? So today is the 12th of December and this Sunday. It means that we are going to have our guest today. So to be honest, I'm super excited about this meeting. I do hope that my guest will join me today, like rather fast, because I have so many questions to ask. And you know what? He's already delivered so many meetings, so many interviews, and he asked so many questions, but you know what? No one asked him. So this is the reason why I decided to invite Mr. Volkan Iner to join this Sunday meeting, because I have so many questions to ask about this project where he invites teachers, educators, teacher trainers from different parts of the world, and thanks to him we can get so much knowledge from those incredible people. So I really am having goosebumps now, because what he does or what he's doing is really something important for us. So Volkan, I can see that you're here, and it would be nice if you could just send me the request to join the session. And what I'm going to ask him today is that, how it happened that all of a sudden he decided to create this project, to start this project, to invite people. You know, I was thinking, what we can see just people coming, answering his questions, but I'm pretty sure it takes a lot just to organize everything. Let's imagine, guys, that you have to find an interesting person. Somehow you should, contact them and invite them, and actually, sometimes it's not that easy to contact a person and just say, you know what, I have this kind of project and I'd like you to join, and this person says just, you know what, I don't know you and I'm not going to join you or something else. We always have some kind of fear of being rejected. So I know that he's doing a lot in order to deliver all those sessions, and I'd like this meeting to be some kind of appreciation for everything what he does. And I will be more than thankful, more than grateful if you could leave positive comments here in the comment section. Yeah, I can see everything. Hi Diazra, I can see you. Hi, really happy you joined us. Press the button accept, and I'm looking forward to seeing my special guest. I know he's nervous. I know he told me that he's nervous. That's okay.
Yes.
Hi, how are you today?
Hello.
How's your mood?
It's
How's
great.
everything?
It's so far so good, and I'm sure that it's going to be better. Actually,
Yeah.
It's good, but in this session it's
Volkan,
gonna be
how
better.
is it? As usual, since you are the person who asks questions, you are always like at the top of the screen. But right now, you are not just.
Right now.
Hi.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, I think we've changed the roles, and this time I am on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just tell me, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
Are you nervous? Are you anxious?
No, actually, I'm not. I'm not nervous, but I'm a little bit excited, and I'm feeling a little bit, the different. I think right now, because until so far, I'm the one who asked the questions to the people, but right now you're gonna ask me questions, and I don't know, and how it's gonna happen, and I hope that I can give a really, really nice and
I see the comment. Your turn,
answers.
Volkan. Your turn, Volkan. Yeah, and bravo. Thank you for everything you do for all the teachers from different parts of the world, because as I already mentioned in the post about you, there were so many interesting people you managed somehow. I don't know how, probably you know the secret. You managed to invite, and those people, they're really busy. I know some people, they write our course books, let's say 𝗄𝗄𝗄𝗆. They're really busy with all that stuff, but anyway, somehow they agreed to spend time with you and with other teachers, so thanks to them as well. So, and my question, the first question, by the way, so those who are watching us, you should know that as usual, we prepare something, like we have prepared questions, but today we don't have any prepared questions, so Volkan doesn't know anything about what I'm going to ask him. It's just and yeah, if you have any questions, just please feel free to drop a line in the comment section
Hello.
first. And maybe some of you would like to join us. I've never experienced that before, but I know that Instagram provides us with that kind of service when we can have up to 4 people
Exactly.
online. Yeah, so we can give it a try. If you'd like to join us to ask volcanic question, just please feel free, send request. I will do it for you because I do wish to see you here with us.
Yeah, this is really surprising.
Yeah, just for you to adjust a bit, I want to tell people a story. So the first time when we had just like informal chat with Volkan, it was exactly 1 year ago. I mean, I participated in his project, but anyway, later on we invited Volkan to join our Christmas or New Year party by Start Teaching and Learning. And I was so surprised, I was so amazed how he behaved. Like, he was so relaxed, he was so positive, so much love and smile, such a positive vibe. So, and at that exact point, that exact moment, I thought I'd like him to be here with me because I want him to share that positivity with you, that vibe. So nice to see you here. Thank you. Merhaba. I know several words in Turkish, like merhaba, nasılsın? I know nasılsın? İyiyim, teşekkür ederim. What else?
Oh,
Like
good.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harika.
So the main, yeah, the main words. And çok güzel, definitely.
Oh, nice words.
Yeah.
Really useful words.
Yeah. So Volkan, I know you told me like the beginning of this story. The pandemic started and you felt, you know, it touched my, it was something special, you said, like, and you felt you'd like to do something for other teachers. And that was a moment for you to think about the project. But could you tell us, like, how long did it take you to organize the first session, how it happened? Because I know the first person you invited, the person was from India, teacher or educator, I don't remember. Just let me know how it was. Let us know.
You remember that it's really, really hard. Before I starting to talking these things, I really would like to say thank you to Eva to invite me to this session. It's really nice to be here. And I'm really happy that also we had a chance to one of my sessions with you. I think of 14 sessions we did together. Yeah, the 14 teacher talks 14. Yeah, it's like the I don't know actually. This it's like a couple of months. It's last year we did it in 2020. By the way,
yeah.
The 8 months. Yeah, the 8th month of 2020 we did it. Like 17, something like this. Anyway, so actually this things I've been always, you know, thinking to do something like this, but not, you know, I had no chance to put it into the action. So I think I was looking for the right time, the magical time, okay, this is the right moment to do it. I always thinking about it. So, you know, and suddenly, I mean, last year, like in 2020, the pandemic, you know, the spread out all over the world, and we all, you know, the back to home, and we couldn't do anything, and it was really hard times for us, and we are all at home, and so difficult to think. And I was thinking that I should do something, and I can't stand, because I'm kind of a person, I can't like sitting at home just like this and doing the, you know, the just having lessons with the students, okay, and then okay, stop it, I just finished my lesson and then go and say no, I can't do that. I always thinking that to do something which is useful, which is really, really useful for the teachers, not only Turkey, because I always thinking that I have to do something which is useful not only in Turkey but also in the other parts of the world. Like because you know we have a really magical thing, like which is the internet, so we can reach easily to all over the world. And why not have this kind of things only in Turkey? I can do it in all over the world. So I was thinking always, as I told you before, like, okay, let's do it. How can I do it? How should I start? Where do I start? Who should I ask? And then suddenly these things happen, and I said, okay, I'm gonna start a kind of a session which is interested in not English, not only English teachers, educators, or the people who interested in, the learning English or something like this can join it. Not only Turkey and all over the world, not like this. And then suddenly, okay, I'm gonna start it. And then I started to think, okay, I should think a name, really something, that can everybody remember it. What name should I put it? And I was thinking some, kind of different names and really not, the not attractive names. The name something related with the, the teachers. And then my wife come that point. Yeah, he came that point, and I said, why don't you do, yeah, thank you very much for that, because the program names, thanks to her, she had found it. I always say this, that the name of teacher talks, she thought that, okay, do it something easy and can everybody remember it. Teacher talks.
But sorry for interruption, because we have just an easy chat, and as soon as I see, all the time, as soon as I see the name teacher talks, I don't know why, the first thing which I start thinking about is like teacher talking time. It's just hilarious. But anyway, as soon as I see it, I understand that the nice idea to have this teacher talks, because you understand that it's something about our professional life, let's say, because it's not only about professional tips and trick techniques and methods, it's also about our lives. Because our lives are really busy with lots of stuff. It's not only about activities or tasks or anything like that. It's about our teacher soul and our teacher heart.
Exactly.
So again and again, thank you for that.
and this
CELTA issues.
Yeah,
TTT,
yeah, some CELTA issues, exactly. Yeah, definitely, it's kind of a CELTA issues. And maybe the teacher talks, we are teachers, and all the time they told us, okay, you're a teacher and you need to be careful with the TTT, teacher talking time, in the classrooms. But when they come here to teacher talks, they can talk, they can talk about everything. Yeah, there is no
some
TTT
kind of
here.
Remedy. Like treatment for us, where you can talk without any interruption. Yeah, that's great.
Exactly, they can talk without any interruptions.
So as I said, you had the first person to invite, there was a person from India. How was that? Because that was the moment. How could you somehow assure that person, like convince that person that the person should participate in this first session? Because you never know how many people will join you. You never know what will happen. You just never know.
Yeah, that's the point. That's a really interesting point, that how we started with the thanks to 𝘆ecie𝗂'𝗃𝗲 from India. He's a teacher and he's also a trainer from India. He the first person that I had the teacher talks from. Our adventure has started with Rajesh and me. Yeah, and in the first program, I don't know. Actually, I have known Rajesh from my Facebook account. Like I have also an account that, like, the Creative English. He became a member of the Creative English from Facebook account, and he was always, the sharing good things, and the writing some blogs. And also from that moment, I think he won a prize from British Council, like the best blogger of the month, something like this. And I saw that, okay, he is good. He is writing a blog, and I can invite Rajesh. And I know him, and if I ask him, I'm sure that he's going to help me, because he's a good blogger, and he writes, and he wants something. And then I asked to Rajesh, just directly from Facebook. I had I didn't have his like Instagram account or mobile phone.
But
I just
do you
write from
have any
Facebook.
fear of being rejected? Like, what if he said?
Of course, every time I do it. I feel
we are going to
that
discuss that.
exactly.
You know why? Because I'm pretty sure that there are lots of teachers who would like to start their own projects, and this session is about the fact that, please, if you'd like to do something, just do it. Just do it. Believe in yourself. Do it. You can do it. Whatever anyone says, you can do it. Just take short, small steps and do it. You see, Volkan is sharing his story. So the first person he saw, again, I'm having goosebumps because I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Volkan. So can you imagine that, having nothing, just only his project in his mind, he reached out that person, and This is your part of the story.
Yeah, okay. And I just, the texted him like, "Hi, Rajesh." And he said, "Hi, Volkan." And I said, "I know that you're very busy. I know that, but I have a plan like this, like a teacher talks, online live sessions. And I'm planning to, the reach to, the all of the people around the world, the teachers, and something do for useful for them. And this session is, okay, it's about like, the education about ELT generally, but not only ELT. There will be some your personal experiences. You're gonna share your personal experiences in this session, and I'm planning to do it, and it's going to be really nice and very useful to everybody." And then he think about it, and I said, "It sounds great, but when are you going to do it? Because I'm very busy," he said. And I said, "Oh, I'm planning to do it like Friday." And then the first time I was planning to do it Friday, and then I changed my mind. And then I said, "Okay, let's do it Saturday." And then again I changed my mind because the people that days they go out, they have fun, they have no time to think about like teacher talks. I can't watch a teacher talk today because I'm fun. I have no time for teacher talks. And then I decided, okay, the best day for this Monday, because people they're gonna be their home, the first day of the week, and it's the Monday, they return back home, they will stay at home, they don't go out. And I think we can reach a lot of people like in that time. And he said, "Okay, Monday is perfect because I'm free on every Monday." He said. I said, "Wonderful." And then we just decided it's like to do it. And then I asked him like, "Okay, don't worry about it." He asked me the questions. Oh my God, what are you gonna ask me? Don't ask me some really, really specific questions. Don't worry, I said. I will send you some of the questions and you will have them and you can see it, like what type of questions I'm going to ask you, and you can just check it. And he said, "Oh, great then." So I just sent him the questions, and then when the magic time comes for the first session, and we have, now, by the way, of course, there are some also, the hard parts about like asking them a photograph, like,
I will ask these questions for sure. Just let us know how he said yes. Just after that, you knew that.
Yeah, after that, he said, "Okay, wonderful. Let's get started this, Volkan. I support you. I'm sure that it's going to be really nice." And then he said, "Okay." And I said, "Wow, really great." And then next Monday, we're going to start it. And then the day has come. And then we started, and he was in front of the screen, and I was here, and we have started our, the conversation.
How many viewers did you have? How many views? Like, how many people were watching that interview?
At that time, the first session, like, just like, I don't know, like maybe 10, 12.
That's not bad.
That's like something like this. 10 people or something like this it started, but it doesn't matter that like at that time I wasn't looking at the how many people that watching us. I was just trying to ask me questions. I was really excited, and I was also nervous because I've never done such a kind of interview with someone else from different part of the world, from India. You can't believe it, you reach India. And by the way, the time also is really the difference.
Time difference,
like
yeah,
it's really a little late. Like when it's 9, it's over there, I think like 11 or 12 or something like this, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, like this. And then we started, and through the last minutes, and Rajesh was going to sleep, I think, because he became really tired. Yeah, but that was really nice. Thanks to him.
Yeah, so
then we have... Mm-hmm.
So the first thing for you was like to invite the person and to get his yes. And after that, somehow you had to create that promotion or leaflet or whatsoever. So you had to learn how to do that. So somehow you should create or design that thing, announcing the event. Who is doing that for you? Who is doing that for you? Who cares about all those?
I see. All right. The person again who prepares the posters. It's not difficult to guess. My
Your
wife,
wife.
thanks to
Yeah,
Nilgün.
okay.
Exactly.
Again,
She's
round of applause.
preparing. she's
Great.
she's a secret, the supporter behind the screen. Yeah, she's not,
And that's
the
perfect that
showing.
she stands
Yeah,
by
but
you. That's
she's
perfect.
exactly. But the thing is that at first, she didn't support me, by the way. But she said, "Okay, come on, Volkan. Not this pandemic time, and people maybe they don't come to watch, and they feel differently." She said, "You can, yeah." She said like they had no time like to do it, so it's difficult for them to come, and it's also difficult to you to do it. Just forget about it. Don't start this teacher talks. And I said, no, I'm gonna start it. And she said, all right, I will support you, but we will see what's gonna happen. She wasn't expecting that it's gonna be like the 82nd program. Now I'm gonna do it for the next month, tomorrow, 81st or 81st program. I'm gonna do it.
No, I know she did
81st
it
week.
deliberately. I mean, this is just a female part.
Huh.
This way we
By
can
the way,
somehow provoke your critical thinking. This is the way
yeah,
how we can help you.
just like I started talking, I know that the topic is going different parts. Yeah, the Nilgün always, does the things for me, especially the posters, and she has really, really great, the skills about this preparing this kind of things, like using it. Yeah, she's preparing, she's spending time for the posters, but of course, before that, I asked the people to just send me a photographs. But sometimes they send a different photograph, just a hat, or sometimes they just had a photograph like this. But that's not the suitable, the photographs. But I ask again to them, but a
Yeah.
little bit like afraid to ask again. Can you please just send me another photograph, because I cannot feel it? And sometimes they say, oh, come on, is it urgent? Can I send it later? That today? Or I said, okay, no problem, take your time, but please send me just these photos, like the face on the camera, the shoulders and arms must be seen, and on the screen. So because I'm gonna put it, she gonna, put it and fix it into the poster in a suitable place. Otherwise, it looks not nice. So that's why I'm asking you
Just
these
don't
things.
tell me the name of the person, but what was the most ridiculous picture you got? Like, do you remember any? Don't tell the name of the person because it's not right.
So
But
I
anyway,
actually,
just
actually, there are sometimes the people send me just like, oh, I remember that. There is a photograph just like, I can't remember it. Just send me a photo, just like he's coming out of the bed. It's like taking the photographs. It's like this. Yeah, that was really like his eyes. It's like really. I can't remember it actually. Eyes really big, and
is
just
that the
like
person?
his
I'm here. I'm
face.
here. Who's that person?
Yeah, I'm here. 𝘍𝗵 hocam, hello, and 𝗃𝗃 hocam, hello. You are all here. Thanks very much for coming. And just, it was so funny, the photos, and I had to ask again, can you please send me suitable photographs? And I sent some samples also. Actually, I try to send every time a sample photograph, but sometimes, the people just send the photographs to me. But and then I had to say again, ask them to send me another photographs, because these are not suitable to fit to the poster. Yeah, that was like just coming out from the bed, just taking a photograph and sending me. That was really, really so funny. Then I said, wow, that's really nice photograph that he sent me.
Yeah,
Something
no,
like this.
just as I always ask people, just can you send me pictures of you where you definitely like yourself? Because yeah, we have
No.
those pictures where we like ourselves, and I do believe that pictures, they can have some kind of vibe or energy. So they're like talking pictures. If this is a picture which
Exactly.
you like a lot, it means that this is a talking picture. Anyway, so okay,
And
let's go
just a
further.
moment, 𝘍𝗵 hocam was writing, my picture was like that. It's just coming out from the bed. No, that was not you. Don't worry, 𝘍𝗵 hocam. All right.
Hello, Georgia. I can see I can see people from Ukraine. I can see people from
Sure.
Georgia. Miss 𝗃𝗵𝘁, hello. I see Miss Pinar, Azra. I don't know everyone, but I can see that many people from Turkey joined us. So hopefully we'll be friends later on, because I'm always open and just I'm
Sure.
ready to talk to anyone. Yeah, just reach me out. Okay, so Volkan, we know that the first thing you did was I think you were inspired by your wife. Then you decided just, yes, let's give it a try. Then you found the first guest from India.
Yeah.
Your amazing wife created the poster. You had the first session, and then what? Like,
And
you
then
know, it's as usual,
it
the first
hmm
step, it's not that difficult because it's the easiest one. When you have the energy, you are so enthusiastic, you think that I can do everything. But then all of a sudden you understand, like, I should just continue somehow. So how do you create the list of guests? Or
ah
how was it for you to find people to participate in all those
all right.
sessions?
Okay. So actually, then let me tell you the secret. When people
Okay.
sleep, I don't. That's the problem. Yeah, when people sleep, I don't. I work on this project. That's the point, I think, because I try to do it everything in the late hours because I have a 4 years old son. So generally we always wait to do something when he goes to bed to sleep, and after we can have a chance to do the things. And so yeah, exactly. And actually, after the first session, I was just thinking that, oh, how I'm gonna do it for the second session,
Thank you for that
and
comment.
how I'm gonna do for the second session, and I'm really thinking that, okay, who I'm gonna ask to join? Will they accept me? Will they accept to join teacher talks? Will they be like interested in joining the teacher talks? And then I just try to think that, okay, the people who like I invited to this teacher talks uh, not shouldn't be always really really important, the important people. That should be just like a teacher from different part of the world, or sometimes educator from different part of the world, or sometimes really really important person like the book writers and like teacher trainers with the famous ones. I should give a chance to all of them, because this the session is going to be like reaching to lots of people and sharing like ideas and experiences and some knowledge that they know or what they believe about one topic or about the questions. That not always everything should be very very you know related to the educational part. Maybe sometimes our beliefs also important. Anyway, so and then I just go for again my Facebook, the account, like the Facebook Creative English on Facebook or Instagram account, the people who join or who follows me. I look the list, and then I checked like, okay, this can be a really suitable and nice person for the next session. I decided it, and I search for her. By the way, I just wanted to say hi to Marwa from here. She was the second Teacher Talks guest from Egypt, by the way. I went to Egypt for the second one, and I just try to choose the teachers and the suitable one who can do it. But of course, at first I told you, I always have a feeling like, what if they say no, or what if they say, okay, I don't want to do it, I have no time for it, but not a problem. I never give up. And I just, to make a list sometimes. By the way, I just make a list of people for like 8 or 10 sessions, and after that, I have lots of people. They direct message me. Can we join? Can we
Oh,
have? Yeah, exactly. Can we join teacher talks? And can we talk or one of your sessions as a guest? When I get this one, I became more motivated. Wow, I said, and I think I'm doing really great things. That so people wants to join teacher talks and be my guest, and that's really a nice moment. And
yeah, I
after
just
that,
want,
the
I'm
list.
sorry, I want to say thanks to Miss Miltem for this comment. Like, Teacher Talks serial is one of the most efficient program in terms of
Thank
its
you.
content. Thank you, Volkan teacher. Thank you so much for this
Thank
comment.
you.
Actually, as we started the session, I said, like, if you feel that you are ready to express your gratitude to Mr. Volkan for what he's doing, you can easily do it in this comment section, in this section for comments. So please feel free to say your thanks. Thank you again.
Yeah. Thank you.
And we had a question from, sorry, because yeah, I can see. Please kindly ping my question. I can see your question. The question was like, what did these sessions add to you and your wife? Like, I think it's just a bit
network
question.
network.
Anyway.
No problem. I can say that. Oh, can I give an answer?
Yeah, yes.
Can I? Oh, okay. Thanks for the questions. What did these sessions add us? Amazing network, really. I have incredibly, that's really perfect things. The best things that that add to probably to us a network. Really, which is really important for me. The network, like, I by the help of teacher talks, I have reached and I have a kind of a the relation with the people who maybe in my life never reach and never met somewhere with him, but by the help of teacher talks, for example, let me tell you one of it, 𝗍𝗵𝘃𝗲. The 𝗍𝗵𝘃𝗲, maybe the one that I have never seen it in my life in a real and have a communication like this, or maybe never go close to him and ask any questions somewhere else. Or I don't know, I can give another example, for example, for example, I never know you about it. Yeah, you are also sitting in front of me now, Eva. Maybe if we wouldn't have that, the teacher talk sessions with you, I never know about you, and maybe by chance we meet somewhere and we see each other, but I had no feeling, or I had no, the courage to come to next to you and ask something about anything else. But now, we can do lots of things.
Really. And can I read this, or maybe you should read
this?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is the comment from your wife, as far as I understand. Like, for my part, I has changed my mindset about reaching famous trainers. I thought pronunciation and grammar mistakes would matter. I used to believe that they would demand money to join. Again, just a feeling that. Thank you for this comment, because the second idea behind this session, behind this meeting, is that teachers, wherever you are, whatever you're dreaming about, you have your ideas about just huge projects, but you feel like probably it can happen just because I'm a teacher and they're just trainers and they're famous and something like that. But I'd like to create something like that. Please, again and again, believe in yourselves. You are now watching this story or listening to this story. We have this comment, just please believe in yourselves and do what you dream about. Exactly. As soon as you start doing that, you will be, every time you will be one step closer to making your dream come true. Again, if you feel like, sometimes we can feel demotivated. So if you feel like that, what you should do, you should go to the account of Mr. Volkan Iner and watch any of those talks and realize again, everything is possible. Just everything is possible. Everything just in our minds. So please feel free and do what you'd like to do. Okay. Definitely. Then, and Volkan, I'm so sorry, because since I asked teachers, since I ask our viewers just to share their appreciation, we have coming from Azra, so insightful session. We have coming from Tamar from Georgia. Hello. Thanks to Teacher Talk, my EFL community increased. Thanks. Hello, Parveen. I'm happy to hear from you. Happy to see you with us. Yeah. Azerbaijan joined us. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Then I remember the session with Eva. Thank you. as Razas, I can say Teacher Talk sessions changed my thoughts in a creative and reflective way. Thanks a lot, Volkan. Thank you. Yeah, so
Happy to
these
hear
words are,
that.
yeah, are
Really.
really important. And here's the question, I pinned it. Can you see it from
Yeah, I
Tamar?
see it about the future plus, but I just can I add something?
Yes, please.
Yeah, about it. Yeah, just now, Nilgün mentioned about the money that she was thinking that most of the people, or the companies, for example, like the big companies, they were asking me, how could you do that? How could you invite that kind of people to the teacher talks? Because when we invite them, they ask, they come to our sessions. We have to pay for them because they're really, really big names. So it's really difficult to, to invite them to our sessions. The like webinars, for example, if you do it like, for example, I just remember someone. Just let me tell Simon Phipps. He's one of the best, the teacher trainer. When you want to invite him somewhere, when you cannot, it's really not easy to invite him, to somewhere, because, they get paid money for this one. But to joining the teacher talks, it's not about like, and they can understand. I try to convince them. I think I make them believe that this is something not related, because I'm not earning anything. I have nothing about it to do this. No one pays me for doing this. I'm just doing it for my free will. Yeah, I do it. So I do it to to become a very, how can I say? I do this program to, which is useful to everybody without getting any money from anyone else to do it.
Again, thank
So
you.
that's the point. Maybe the people, they believe and they join here with it. So I'm really, really happy. And also I would like to say a huge thank you for all the people and who joined so far and become my guest for Teacher Talks. Each of them really, really precious and really, really important. They're marvelous people. And thank you very much not to say no to me for this Teacher Talk sessions. Thank you. Because you did very, really precious and important things, not only for my country, the whole of the world.
For all of us. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
for all of
And
us.
you see,
Okay.
thank you, Parvina, for your comment. Volkan does a fabulous job, and also it's quite difficult to persuade
Thank you.
people and ask them to devote their precious time to share knowledge and experience. That's true. That's true. Thank you so much. And here's the question: just if, let's say,
Sure.
definitely not all the time you got your yes from those people who you asked to join your teacher talks. Yeah, this is like maybe a sad part of your, I would say, job. But anyway, if we say out of 100, maybe 100%, how many times did you get that no?
And I think a couple times, but one of him, what maybe you remember, I think you joined 𝗵𝗵𝘁𝗃𝗲 from the USA.
Teacher World.
That moment, teacher, TESOL certified teacher and goodwill ambassador, 𝗵𝗵𝘁𝗃𝗲, my 39th guest, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. At first, he said no. I had no time to do it, Volkan, but please,
and here,
let's do
sorry,
it.
again, I'd like to interrupt you because
Sure.
this is the sad part of our interview, because I know because he participated, so it means we will have that happy part. So as soon as you got that no, how did you feel? Like,
yeah, of course.
What were your thoughts?
I said, I felt a little bit sad because, I have been following him on the Instagram. He has got lots of followers and huge, and he's a very inspiring person for the people. He tried to teach English to people and something like this. He gives free lessons through his Instagram to the people. And but at first he said no, and I said, all right, nothing to do. But he left the door open. Let's do it in another month. But not now. I'm really busy. Can you ask me or really ask me again later? Something like this. I said okay, no problem. But I tried to explain him and my program. And then I said him that please, if you have a chance, come and watch it. And here is my Instagram account, and just follow it, please, and check the sessions. And he said okay. And I thought that he was not going to do it, but he did. He checked the many sessions, and he checked my account. And after next month, I asked him again, hello, Mr. 𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗲, and I know that you said no. I know that you're very busy, but I want to try my chance for the session. Because
so it was you who reached him out for the second time. So it
yeah,
wasn't like
again.
you said, okay,
No.
Volkan, and now I'm ready. So
no,
okay.
no.
So another
He
tip,
just
do not give up. Do not give up. You can do it. Just keep going. Okay.
exactly. And then I asked him again for the next time. Like, you asked me to remind me, Mr. 𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗲, about the sessions. That is it possible to do it the next session with you? And he said, I'm very busy, Volkan, and you know that. But I said okay this time because you convinced me, and the things that you told me, and your feelings, your writing, and the things that you are doing are, I feel that they are, the meaningful, and you do it for some purpose to do it, and I believe in you. And I said okay, I'm gonna join it. And then I said yes, he's gonna join it. Yeah, I did it. And then we did with Mr. 𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗲 the 39 sessions, which was really nice. Like, it was really fruitful sessions. Yeah, we had.
Yeah.
And like this.
Tell me another thing. If you agree with me, I mean, I know that we have people who are watching us. If you agree with me, just tell me how you're feeling before going live, if you do that. Or actually, even do you record your talking stories? It sometimes can be like embarrassing a bit, and you feel like not confident,
Mm-hmm.
So if you feel the same, just let me know. You can leave something like heart or plus, it doesn't matter, just for me to see, because the same thing happens to me. That's okay. I think just it's a human thing, just it's okay.
Sure.
And today, before this session, anyway, I felt a bit thrilled and a bit nervous, definitely, because I know I have to be in front of the camera and we'll have so many people here. So I had my usual routine, like maybe I turn on the camera. So I'm modeling the answer for you. So I turn on the camera and I have my music loud and I can dance a bit just to have that, energy or that vibe, because I don't want people to see me like dull and numb. And I shared today on my personal page, I shared the way how I do it as usual. So what's your secret? Because, you have to meet with so many like different people. What's your secret? What do you do before going live? Do you have any like routine? Or maybe your wife supports you and says something like, well, you can do it, just I believe in you, everything will be okay. Or maybe you have your sit-up. I don't know. What do you do to feel enthusiastic?
Thank you. Okay, so actually, the thing is that, at first I told you that like she was just, she was saying it like, okay, no, Volkan, come on, it's not gonna be too long. Just maybe you can stop it. Maybe you will stop it after the 10 live sessions. But after that, she realized that the sessions become really like, wow, it speaks like, the 50 sessions, 60 sessions, 17, and now 81st. Tomorrow I'm gonna have the 81st sessions with 𝗵𝗵𝘁. You have already know it, and like the things that I do here, it's like just like sometimes about the people I feel really, really enthusiastic, which are like if they are really important, like the 𝗄𝗵𝘃𝗲, like 𝗍𝗏𝗏 from Turkey.
But anyway, it can add some kind of pressure.
Yeah, of course. For example, the thing is that the session with Aydan Hoca, maybe you know her, Aydan Ersöz, which she is one of the best, the teacher trainer in Turkey, like, and she's the president of INGET in Turkey. When I first, invited her, and when she said first time, she said, "Okay, Volkan, we can do it." I became real. Oh my God, she accepted! Wow, she's going to be my guest for the next sessions, and it's really, really amazing moment. And when I came the session part, it was coming to the almost 9 o'clock, the usual time for teacher talk. I was like, just like my heart's pumping because, oh my God, what I'm gonna do, in front of the screen with her. She's, what if I make a mistake while I talking? But actually, I don't care if I make a mistake while talking. So that's not the case. But she's the queen, like this in this field for both of us, and so I was always, but my heart's pumping, like I was feeling really nervous at first. But after we started the session, I saw her in front of me. I done a job, something like this, and I said, and then all my feelings, gone, and I feel really energetic, and I feel really, very, the willing to ask, and I was really eager to, listening to her. That was really, really nice moment that I still remember of her session.
Yeah.
And also another, and can I say?
Yeah.
Another, and also, for example, when I was here, John Hugh, yeah, you remember it, John Hugh, and also another thing is with Tom Kiddle, that's also really, really, that I feel really, excited and really nervous. And also another one is Tony Gore. Yeah, Tony Gore also, he's really, really important educator in the LT world, and Simon Phipps. I feel really nervous, not nervous actually, but excited. And I wasn't, I was just thinking what I'm gonna do with his sessions. I hope it's gonna be really fruitful, and I hope I'm not gonna make any mistakes, or I hope it's not gonna happen something bad during the sessions. Maybe sometimes I'm thinking that, I have a 4 years old son. Maybe suddenly he can, open the door and he can came, during the sessions, especially this
This is
important
what
people.
I was trying to mention. Like, the most important part of this job is here. You can see the pinned comment. My routine is just keeping our son away from the study, actually. Yeah, you see, this is the most difficult part of everything. So thanks a lot.
I remember that thanks to her, she's always keeping him, keeping him busy with things, the inside the room, because sometimes he wanted to, he wanted to come inside. He wanted to come inside the room, and he's knocking the door. And I said at that time, sometimes I try to check the door. I hope he's not gonna open the door. I hope he's not gonna open the door. Something like this. I was just inside of me. I was saying these sentences on my own.
I know
but
what you mean.
Of course, but thanks to him, he also understands that when I said I'm studying inside, he knows that I'm studying inside, and he never interrupts. He just sometimes comes in front of the door, and I said, "Father, are you there?" And I said, "Yes, I'm here." And then he goes back. That's it. And sometimes he knocks the door. That's
Thank
the
you
things
for all
that
your
we
comments,
do.
Chess. If only
Thank you very
Volkan and
much.
me, we could send you those hearts as well. We would do it, Chess. We would keep doing that like non-stop. Thank you for all those hearts.
Thank you very much, really.
Those hearts in different colors. Thanks a lot. Volkan, here's another
I hope I'm
question.
not talking too much.
Yeah, that's super. Thank you. So another question. It happened to me before. We had a meeting online. I don't remember who was my guest, but anyway, there was a problem with internet connection. So we had to go live like 5 or 6 times. And the question is about how comes that you do not give up. I mean, sometimes we can have such tiny difficulties, but these tiny things, they can ruin everything completely, like demolish everything. And here's the question: how how you cope with that. I mean, now I'm talking about your inner world. It's not just,
Hmm.
okay, I fix my internet or reload my router. No, it's like, how can you cope with that? Because when you press the button for the 7th time to go live, and somehow inside there you think just, oh my God, I can't stand it anymore. But then you press go live and you have to smile, hoping and keeping your fingers crossed that it will work out this time. So what
Yeah.
about you? Did you have any situations like that?
It happened. It happened a couple times. Like, the sometimes we had a really bad connection, and or sometimes before the starting the sessions, I made a huge mistakes in the live sessions before I inviting the guest to the sessions. The before we starting session, I introduce the guests in front of the like screen. I should explain him, but I said something wrong or something happened, and I just stop the live sessions, and I take back everything again, and I start the live session again, and I say everything what I said until that time. I say it again. That moment happens many times. But another thing is that was that like all my students know my
Yeah, yeah, we
4-year-old
will come
son. He
back to
was my
this comment.
oh,
Okay.
I see. Okay, so and then once I remember that in the Mike Home ESL, he lives in China. He's the owner of Mike Home ESL or YouTube channel. He is the owner of that one, and he's a really great educator. You should really follow him, Mike Home ESL. And at that time, when the session starts here, it's like 9 p.m. It's like 3 o'clock a.m. in the morning in China, and he accepted it. He accepted it. He said,
Wow.
"All right." I asked him 3 times before to join the session, and every time he
Wow.
said, "I have lots of things to do, Volkan, but I promise I will do it. Just like March or April. Remind me. I'll join the session. I will be really happy to be part of Teacher Talks. I checked some of your sessions, and it's really great, and I wanted to join." I said, "Okay." I became super happy about it, and the time came, and everything something like this. It became 9, like my 42nd guest is going to be, and after that, you know he wake up. Sorry. He woke up. I talked to him. I asked him something like this. Everything was perfect, and then I started the live sessions, but he can't connect it because of VPN from
Yeah, I
China.
know.
Yeah, and in China, his Huawei phones doesn't let him to use Instagram. They don't let him to download Instagram. That's really interesting. I learned this time in China, it's forbidden to use the Instagram without VPN. So he he just tried to find a way. He tried to download Instagram because the people, they were waiting us. I was sitting in front of the like this screen, and I introduced him, and every time I invited him, he connected, but only black screen, no voice or no video, nothing. And then I said, okay, just wait for it. I tried to fix the problem. I became really, the nervous, and I said, what I'm gonna do. We can't do the sessions, but and then we just handle it. And I asked him can we do the session, and he said, no, Volkan, I think I tried to do many things, but it's not. I can't do it the sessions right now because I can't connect it and I can't download, and my VPN doesn't work. He told me. And I said, all right then. So unfortunately, we can't do it. We were not able to do it. So I just came back again to the live session. I had to open it and I had to explain to the people that we cannot do it. And then I came, and I was really sad about it because I was really expecting. I was waiting that moment. Just like a couple months ago, I asked him, and finally we had a chance to this session with him. but unfortunately, because of the internet and the VPN, but he even accepted to wake up at 3 a.m., in the middle of the night. No,
Yeah,
so,
sad
but,
story.
and then I explained it to the people here, and then we cancel it. We couldn't do it. And the next day, we had another guests. But we talk again later, but maybe next time we will try to find a way. Maybe when he was sometimes he moved
Fingers
to the
crossed it
USA.
will happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe we will do a session, like, how can I say, special session with him next time. I don't know when, but I'll try to do it. Anyway, that was one of that's just like a sad
Yeah.
moment,
As
disappointed
usual, we
moment
have
actually,
those highs
disappointed
and
moment.
lows. We have those, yeah, highs and lows, so that's okay. That's
Exactly.
just, I always say, if we look at the way how our heart works, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our life.
Goes up
If
and
it's
down. Exactly.
if it's just stable, flat line, it means you are dead. So it's okay to have
Yeah,
highs and lows. And I pinned that
exactly.
comment when all my students know my 4-year-old son. He was my assistant during online online classes last year.
Classes last year. Nice, very nice.
Yeah, thanks Nina for mentioning that, because as usual, I do have my son as well. He's 14 years old. But anyway,
Wow.
while having my online classes, I can hear from the kitchen something like, I'm working from home, I can hear like "mom," that voice, that can scare my students. So yeah, I know what you mean. And when you have such young kids, like 4-year-old kids, yeah, it always brings some kind of additional positivity and more things to handle. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Great to hear it.
So,
Hold on.
so you shared your idea. Like sometimes, again, we are following the same line as we started.
Mm-hmm.
You had an idea for the project. Thanks God, you have your wife, and she
Yeah.
supports you. So then you delivered your first session. Then you had a list of people. You contacted them. You reached out. You asked for the pictures, which sometimes were not appropriate. But anyway, nowadays you know how to do that. And then we have so many different things. But tell me, how it does it have any impact on your teaching? I mean,
Of
because
course. Mm-hmm.
we are teachers, we are not just people who are sitting in front of the cameras and talking to each other, like laughing
Mm-hmm.
and joking. Yeah. So it takes time. Teaching takes all our time. But what about how can you combine teacher talks and teaching in your school, at your school?
Yeah, it's like this. Of course, from the first time that I started these teacher talk sessions, believe me or not, I have learned lots of things from different educators or teachers, especially the things that they do over there. Because the questions that I ask them, it's more or less their personal experiences or something like this. And sometimes my questions is related to of course, some academical points I also ask, like the teaching techniques, or like the idea about reading, or the classroom management, or whatever they do in this situation. How would you behave, or what do you suggest to the people or to the teachers in this case, or something like that, or what is your philosophy of teaching? So lots of people, they have different questions that none of them is similar to each other. So every time I get something from them. And for example, one of my sessions, they explain me about the student behavior, something like, if the students behave like this, you can just follow these steps and you can follow it. Or I learned, for example, let's say some really nice websites. For example, the most of the educators, I ask them questions. Can you suggest us like a useful website that we can use in our online teaching or in our classrooms? For example, when they say a really interesting websites, so I just get one or two websites, for example, maybe other websites too. Of course, I take them into the classroom and I try to find, for example, some samples to use with my students, or in the classrooms. I get benefit from what they say. And for example, of course, not everything you cannot adopt them into your classroom, whatever you hear here, whatever you heard from the people who talks here. But for example, let me give another example. What was it about the writing? I think about the writing, or how would you follow the steps, or about the reading. For example, sometimes they say, okay, with the readings you can go online to these sites and just like check it, and just like, and you can get really lots of things. Especially another, let me tell you, the Twinkle, you remember the website, the twinkle.com. And I try to remember, just a moment, I try to remember the name of, just a moment, I try to remember. I can't remember actually now. Miranda, yeah, Miranda, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Miranda 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. Yeah, that's the head of Twinkle, the website. For example, I had no idea about the Twinkle, detailed of course, before we had the conversation, and after that she showed me this lots of things from the websites, and she gave me just go there for the reading materials, writing materials, speaking materials, lots of materials was there, and by chance I saw them, that I love them, and I took many things from them and I use it in my class. So which is really nice things to use that with my students, because they were really useful materials they had in that website, and I take them over there. And also, of course, sometimes it happens the class, some things that they use it for the classroom management. For example, I learned, for example, how can I say, routines. You know, that they give some examples for the routines in the classrooms. So I used them in my classrooms with different routines. For example, when you go in the classroom, just like clap your hands, okay, class, like this. Or another thing is like you can start with a dance in the classroom, just like the starting to the lessons. You can just, the dance with your students, just like a couple minutes. Or you can just give them a kind of a handout to them and ask them like to draw a picture. How do you feel today? To make them draw a picture. These are just like the routine things to use in the classrooms. So, or something like this. Then I try to use
people do remember
things that
those sessions. Tamar mentioned, like, as well as Anthony Green's session was great on listening skills. This is, you see how important everything what you do, because people, they do remember all those sessions. They remember those, let's say, pieces of advice, everything. So thanks again. Thanks a lot. Books, websites, ideas, amazing educators. Thank you, 𝗍𝗵𝘁. We improved a lot. Hearts. Thanks for this comment. So sweet. So nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
and
Mrs. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
No, the last comment was from I'm sorry, I
Ignore.
can't. I don't want to mispronounce.
Thank you. Ignore. If I'm not wrong. Yeah.
What is your favorite warm-up activity? So I thought we wouldn't come to this point when we start sharing the activities, because as soon as we start doing that, no one can stop us, because we have that toolkit of those activities. Anyway, just this is the first and the last question about activities. Tell us your favorite warm-up activity.
My warm-up activity. All right. So what can I say about it? I always like, kind of the brain stuff, that things. For example, if I wanted to start it, I always try to give them a chance.
Okay, while you're thinking, I just want to give you time. I want to give you time to think, because I know that all of a sudden, what's your favorite warm-up activity?
There are many, but I can't.
Do you remember, by the way, guys, do you remember the activity? This is my favorite one. Do you know that one, Volkan?
Yeah, I think we did it this one in the class.
Yeah, let's do it together. Can you do it with me? Yeah, guys, you're watching this. You can do it with us. So first of all, what you should do, you should do the same thing, just according to my rhythm. Okay, 1, 2, clap. Let's do it together. Can you do it?
1, 2.
Yeah, and don't say anything. 1, 2, clap. 1, 2, clap. Yeah. And then what we do, if we have a circle, people, this activity, just let us know. And then you pronounce, like was doing this, you pronounce your name, and with this, you pronounce the name of another student. So it's always something unexpected. So let's do it. But okay, we have just only 2 people here, but we can try. You can give it to me. Okay, let's do it.
Volkan, Eva, something like this.
Eva, Volkan. Yeah, and then I would say Eva, Tamar. Tamar would say Tamar, Pinar. And Pinar would say Pinar, Parvina. And here we go. And actually, this is like nice warm-up activity, or let's say icebreaker, but you can use it for vocabulary as well. So if you assign vocabulary, like different words, different students, so they know, just an easy way, you can say just, I'm a cat, I'm a dog, I don't know, whatsoever, I'm an elephant. And you do it like a cat, a dog, an elephant. And so it's some kind of fun, but it's nice warming up activity. So this is time for your warm-up activity. I give you time to think.
So, all right then. Actually, I don't know. Actually, this is a kind of a warm-up or something like. But every time, to make them ready, I go to the classrooms every time, and I just like this. I use always ready to rock and ready to roll. That things it really works to make them, the ready, to make them, to feel very comfortable in the classrooms. For example, I go to the classrooms and I shout out to the class. Of course, I go to the classroom with very enthusiastically, good morning, something like this. And I shout at them, ready to rock, class. And they all shout at me like, ready to roll, Mr. Inar, they shout at me back. And then I do it for 3 times, ready to rock and ready to roll, ready to rock and ready to roll. And then we clap, and they became really energetic, and they really became, willing to do the lesson. And they say, ooh, something like this, okay, let's start, the English lesson is coming, or something like that, we can do it, we can do that, it's really great, wonderful, we really like it, Mr. Inar, can we do it one more time? Yeah. Ready to rock, ready to roll, or something like this.
So how to say ready to rock? And the answer?
Ready to rock. I say ready to rock, and they say back at me, ready to roll. Roll, just like rolling, rock and roll. Okay. It comes from there, ready to roll.
Thanks for your comment. I throw a toy, and then they throw it to the next person, accompanied by a simple question. Just wanted to share. Thanks for sharing. Thank you. All your comments are really important. And by looking at it positively, the main thing, not to worry. You got used to mommy's classes in a couple of weeks and stop disturbing. It's about our kids. Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Okay, Volkan.
Also, all right. No, it's okay. It's okay. And also, I really like the brainstorming idea as a warm up. Like I really like them. Like just like drawing a mind map to make them ready for the topic that we are going to talk, or reading. Just drawing something and make them guess like what we are going to do, just to make them ready. That kind of things is really useful. Anyway, okay, I stop.
Okay, so I didn't expect to get any questions about activities and teaching, because I wanted to, to dedicate this session to your teacher talks. But anyway, somehow it happens. It always happens.
Sure.
Like it always happens. Even if I meet my colleagues, friends, and we can talk about anything, definitely we will start talking about teaching. I don't know why it happens, but anyway, I think it's some kind of, I would say, disorder, because anyway, we are so passionate about what we are doing that we always discuss all the things and our students and their achievements. So, okay, this is almost the end of our session. For me, it's like, like one click. What would you say to those teachers who still think about starting their projects? Not only about project on Instagram, like I'm pretty sure that we have many teachers with their dreams inside and their ideas. Like some of them can think about launching their own language schools. Some of them can think about having some kind of conversation clubs. Some think about creating some kind of teacher community where you can find support and all that stuff. Maybe some of them would like to sell ready-made materials, but they think, who would buy that?
Sure.
Yeah, I have something, but I'm not sure how to make it come true. What would you say like piece of advice how to start and not to give up. This is the moment.
Actually,
Again, I'm goosebumps.
let me tell you about it. That's really nice question. Thank you, Eva. So, when I think about the teacher talks stuff, the people at first they think that okay, just try not to do it. Just you're gonna stop it somewhere, and it won't take long time, something like this. But I never, give up. That's the point. I never give up. So I just wanted to say that never give up because, this thing is not like, maybe for some people, it looks like that you are doing something easy. He's doing something very easy thing. So what he's doing? He's just, doing something
Asking
easy.
questions, yeah.
Yeah, asking questions, like it doesn't matter like what he's doing. They don't, they just try to make it, useless, try to show you, make it useless. Some people, we have kind of people around of us. They don't like it. They think that you are doing something okay, but it's not a difficult thing to do it. Everybody can do it. They think that. But if everybody can do it, so why I am the only one who is doing it in this kind of things? In this, I'm talking about for teacher talks. I just, I can say that never give up. If you believe the things that you do it works. If you believe in that, if you think that you are doing the right thing for the people, and if you see it, the thing that you are doing, it really works and it really helps to other people, don't care the people around of you, whatever they say. There will be people who try to make you down, take you down, who try to make you change your mind about the things that you are doing. And there will be people who try to show the things that you're doing, as I told you, like useless or rubbish or something like this, just wasting of time or something like this. But
just
never give up.
devalue a bit.
Never. Yeah. Exactly. They don't show you the value, but don't give up. Never give up on the things that you are sure of doing that and you plan to do. If not today, and it will be definitely be appreciated tomorrow. Yeah, if not today, but yeah, it will definitely be appreciated tomorrow. And you will see that lots of people, they think they will, let's talk about the teacher talks. I became really motivated. Every time I see the people, great comments. Every time I see my guests at the end of the session or before starting the session or after the sessions, their comments, that they're really important for me and they motivate me to hearing this really, the useful things and motivational things about the things that I do, so they motivate me. And I just before, never give up. I told you that there will be lots of people around of you. Some will, some will give you a really good phrases, a really good, like, how can I say, good, like, they will applaud you, the things that you do it. But other things, in the other part, the people will talk. I told you that, like, they try to get you down, they try to demotivate you, the things that you do, but don't care about it. I just told you that if you believe in it, just go for it. Never give up. If I told you that, if maybe, look at it here. So, for example, I told the teacher talk, just like I just said, like I started with just like 5, 6 or 7 people, 10 people, they start to watch it, and then after the first session, maybe most of the people, they think that it's not gonna happen for a long time, but now it becomes well-known program from all of different parts of the world. Yeah, exactly. It becomes an international project thanks to teacher talks. And actually, I got some the the awards, thanks to teacher talks. Maybe you know that it gives me really nice moments, the moments that I never forget it, and the awards that I never forget
moments of
in my
appreciation.
life. Yeah, it's something like this. Just don't give up. Just go for it, and just go for it. And I just, I can't explain my feelings. I just want to say lots of things about it. I became really, sensitive about it because
Yeah.
that project become a really huge thing for me now, the teacher talks. But just go for it. Don't give up. Never give up. If you believe in that it works, if you believe in that it will become really important and it will be useful for lots of people, never give up. Just go for it.
Yeah. And as a
Yeah.
conclusion, just about everything you've said, the first
Hmm.
thing, definitely you shouldn't give up. The second thing, allow yourself to dream. Be sure that you will have some challenges, but it doesn't mean that
Definitely.
you should quit. And what I'm thinking about, like, sometimes in life we can make steps forward, but it's okay to have steps back. You just should pay attention that you make 3 steps forward and 1 back. It's not like 3
Hmm.
forward and 10 back. Yeah, just keep going. Even if at some kind of point you have to go back, to make that step back, it doesn't matter. Just if you
Hmm.
can walk, if you can't, just lay to that point where your dream is.
Exactly.
And definitely, if you lose your motivation, if you feel like some kind of anxiety, or maybe you are not sure about what you're doing, again, you can always go to Volkan's account, watch some talks by other educators. Believe me, all of them, everyone had those difficult moments. Everyone. We don't have
Sure.
that happy teacher or happy person who's never had any problems in their lives. All of us have. That's okay. What's not okay, to give up. So
Yeah.
if you feel demotivated a bit, go to Volkan's account. If you need someone to talk to, you can always just send us a message. Yeah, definitely it won't be something like long talks, but anyway, if you need some kind of inspiration, we are here for you, because we are all
Exactly.
in this together. Thank you,
You
Volkan.
You're welcome. Can I add something? You just mentioned about the motivation part. In every talks, for example, I always became more motivated. Sometimes I see that, okay, 20 people join. Sometimes I see that 80 people join, and sometimes I see that 100 people. Sometimes I see that 10 people join. That's not the problem. I had that session, if that session helped them, and if they
At
just give a
least one
chance to learn
person.
something, even if the last one person, that motivates me really for the next session. So, okay, today I had a chance to help 10 teachers or educators all around different parts of the world. That's something that I want to do, it to help the different parts of the world to the people. So did I manage it? Definitely I did it for the 10 people. For the next session, did I manage it? Okay, for 20 people, wonderful. So let's do it. Another session, it goes like this. So never give up, never lose your motivation. Try to find at least small little things to motivate you for the next step. I'm sure that if you look at in details, you can find a little motivational inspiration in the things that you do it in every time.
Thank you for all those comments. I can see, like, thank you for the session. Thank you. It was a great session. Thank you to you both and all my friends here. Thank you. Just sending you my heart. Because if only I could press something to send you those hearts, which you are sending us, we can see all of them. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Tamar. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. That was
Exactly.
nice. So, happy Sunday. Happy teaching. And I hope you will have more guests, and you will continue, will keep giving us that chance to learn from teachers from different countries. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm here. I wish you all the best, and thanks to her wife as well. Thanks to her just a
Thank you
lot.
very much.
Yeah, even if she's there behind the scenes, like your backup.
Yeah,
But anyway, thank you.
thanks to
So
her.
see you. Thank you for this session. I knew it would be nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you very
Bye.
much for this chance, Eva. Bye bye.
Bye.